What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny, back again with another edition of Mr. Calloway's View of the World. Once again, thanks for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. Let's get it. Today I want to talk about my current read and then elaborate on how this type of information is needed to become mainstream. My current read is The Psychology of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. It was first published in 1969, so this information isn't new. It's something that's been out for a while. My mother was actually born in 1969, believe it or not. So yeah, this was out. I was born in '89, so this information was out 20 years before me. But once again, I've learned not to judge people by their lack of knowledge, because you don't know what you don't know, and information is the most valuable thing. But lack of access to knowledge keeps you in a small mental state of thinking. The craziest part about life is everything is always in front of you. Just your awareness can only pick up so many things. Like if you read a book and then read that exact book again, it's not that those same concepts weren't there that you pick up on the second time, but your brain is more developed to grab onto those concepts. The frontal lobe cortex of our brain finishes developing at the age of 25, and that's when we start to get a more either logical perspective on life, or we really dig into our victimhood and our current thoughts and our beliefs, which kind of shut us off from really evolving into the true self that we could be. And the reason I study self-esteem so much is my mom suffered from chronic depression. She overdosed in 2015 from opioids. And that's when I really was able to grow up and become a man. I always say it sounds crazy, but my mother dying probably could have been the best thing that ever happened to my life. And I say that because as black boys, we got to be honest that we suffer from mama's boy syndrome sometimes. Our mamas don't always hold us accountable. I remember getting girls pregnant, and my mom never would say, "Hey, stop doing stupid stuff. Wear a condom. Stop having sex out of wedlock." Like all of the things that I should have heard, mama excused them. Mama was okay with me getting tattoos at 16 years old. Mama was okay with me having girls at a young age because they was willing to pay the light bill, or pay the phone bill, or take her to get her nails done. So once I lost my mother, there was no one standing in front of the mirror except me. It was no longer me, my mom, and in the mirror, because I had to face myself for my own actions. And man, was that a scary sight, to say the least. Here I am, 25 years old, father of 4 children by 2 different women at the time. And I had just lost my mother. I used to have mama's boy tattooed on the side of my hand because I was that dependent on that lady. And now I currently have a clock that says nothing's forever. Meaning in order for me to evolve, I had to evolve from mama's boy stage to man stage. And if I stay a boy, then I'll eventually die, because energy doesn't stand still. Everything is always moving in the form. And that's where the self-esteem comes in, because everything is a thought. Everything that you create in your reality, you first think of it before you act it out. And our worst moments happens when we don't think, when we go on autopilot and our subconscious mind takes over. One thing that I say with my daughter every night before bed, I ask her, I say, "What is fear?" And she repeats, "False evidence appearing real." The biggest thing holding 90% of humans back is fear. False evidence that appears real. And the way to beat fear is by taking action. The more you sit down and you think about something, you procrastinate on it, you don't get it done. And we all know that if you are looking for an excuse, you for sure will find one. Self-esteem is important because every day that you wake up, it's a new fight. And that fight is you against you. Whether it's you against your anxiety or you against your depression or whatever it is, it's something that every morning you wake up, you got to be able to lace them gloves up and say, I'm winning today. It won't always be easy. But that's when you dig deep. You know, it takes 66 days for something to become a habit. And so I think we all should do some positive affirmations for 66 days straight and then continue. Meditating is really good. See, one thing I had to realize is that you are not your thoughts. Like, you have to question why you think the way you think. I remember when I only consumed content from a mainstream form, whether it was TV or mainstream media or mainstream news. I thought I could only be one type of an individual, one type of a young male, one type of a black man. And then the more I got into reading books, I realized, well, I'm being programmed. We're all programmed. I can be me, and I can take pieces of this and this and this and this and this, and this can be Johnny. But once again, society plays with our self-esteem, you see. It teaches us to compare and look around and judge others and talk about what we don't have. One of my favorite quotes I like to say is that we're all born in player one mode. We don't realize that anyone else matters outside of us. And the first thing we do when we meet a new person is try to force our ways on them so we can be comfortable. We force the way we like the environment on it. We want this new person there because we like them, so we want them there. But they have to be there the way we want it to be, so we can always feel in control. As you grow, you learn the only thing that you can control is your mind. So that's why you work to keep yourself in a positive mental attitude. Because every bad situation or bad circumstance carries the seed for the positive equivalent of that. But you have to be open-minded enough to search for that seed. And if you're in a state of anger or sadness or fear, you're not able to stop and think logically. So we really have to be mindful of what we're thinking, because our thoughts become our actions, and our actions become our habits. And we have to be mindful of the way we talk to ourselves. And I know that sounds crazy to say the way we talk to ourselves, but I tell my child, make sure you always talk nice to yourself. And talk nicer to yourself than you talk to any other human in the world. Because you are always listening. I have no idea what another person is saying to themselves inside their head. But I do know what they're saying has the power to make or break their day. Has the power to affect their actions. And no one teaches us in elementary, middle, high school, or in college. Make sure you talk nice to yourself today. Be positive to yourself. Uplift yourself. Encourage yourself. We're always so hard on ourselves, which causes a lot of our anxiety and depression and bad feelings. The better you feel about yourself, the better your life will be. The more confident you'll be. The more you'll want to do things to expand your life. I encourage everybody to check out The Psychology of Self-Esteem. Because once your self-esteem goes up, like I feel like there's a 100% direct correlation between wealth and high self-esteem and belief in yourself. Because if you can fail and get back up, and fail and get back up, and fail and get back up, success is coming. It can't stay away from you. There's a quote I heard by Les Brown. It's one of my favorite quotes. He says, if you ever fall down, make sure you fall on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And I tell my children the same thing. You may need to lay there for a little bit because your bruises hurt. Brush off the dust. But when the time is right, get up and start fighting for the stars again. Until next time, YouTube, spread love, spread positivity, and love yourself. Control your thoughts and control your emotions, or they will control you. Until next time.